Hi, my name is Christina Weber, and I run a company called Christian Biz Owners on Fire, and we help Christian entrepreneurs that want to have a fulfilling and profitable business or ministry while putting their relationships top priority on a daily basis. And I'm glad you're here. This is Talk Live Thursday, and this week I had a big birthday. Turned 50 this month, or this year, or whatever, and went out to lunch with some girlfriends to celebrate, and I had in my mind kind of a blog that I was spinning around in my head of thinking about each lessons that I learned by each decade in my life. And so what we did really at lunch was we kind of went around and we all talked about that, and it was a lot of fun. And so I wanted to share with you some of the things that I came up with when I was thinking about my first decade in life, 1 to 10. Boy, that was a time for me when I was like totally myself and totally free to be me. In fact, there was a song by Marlo Thomas, who used to play their album all the time, Free to Be You and Me. I was really uninhibited, really creative, really enterprising. We would do I was one of the lead dancers, and we had a bicentennial celebration at my school. And another boy and I were the lead dancers doing the Charleston and the Jitterbug, and I would, with neighbors, create dance programs that we share with our neighbors in my garage. And even when I was younger, I had the little Lucy psychology booth in my yard, and at about age 6, walked up to neighbors' doors and asked them if they had any problems we could help them with, and just had a blast. I mean, just was totally free, totally myself, totally creative, really. That was what I learned in that first 10 years. And the next decade, from 10 to 20, was really where I started pursuing some worldliness. I got a little bit off track. That's when MTV came out, and I was like glued to it from after school to late at night, and my parents had no idea the damage it was doing. Really bought into the idea that, as a woman, you need to be thin, drink beer, eat junk food, have guys lust after you, and that's like the life. And what I found over that decade was that, I could kind of pull off the worldly thing and achieve things that I wanted to do about 80% of the time. But dang, it was exhausting. And I kind of had like a born-again moment when I was in college. We had Campus Crusade for Christ in our parlor, and I was now getting a message, and the speaker was talking about that in the world, people judge you by your performance and your appearance, but God really values you for you. And that was a real turning point for me at the end of that second decade of life. So the third decade of life kind of ushered in a little bit of a bottom coming in, but really reordered it, where I really was trying to do God's will. But I wasn't, there were certain things I just didn't know I didn't know. So I really did the best I could to make the best choices, and I made a lot of really good choices. There's a lot of good, important choices you make between 20 and 30, and I made a lot of good ones, but I was still pretty affected by some of the wounds that I had that I wasn't aware I had, but it was definitely a move in the positive direction. And then from 30 to 40, again, that decade kind of started out with a little bit of a thunder, because I had my brother, my only brother, actually was killed when he was 27. He was 3 years younger than me. And it really caused me to recalibrate. I mean, on the outside, it looked like I was off track, but really, for the most part, I was moving in the direction of putting things above people. And losing him really made me take some hard looks and reorder my life. It was really positive. The other thing during that decade is I became a mom 3 times, or 2 times then, and during my 40s, third child, but 2 by biological, 1 by adoption, and actually both of those experiences were phenomenal. I was amazed at how much I absolutely loved being a mom. I even loved being pregnant. I mean, it was so cool what was going on with your body and co-creating life like that. And I was really grateful that I had the wisdom to dial back my career. I mean, I still work part-time as a marriage and family therapist, but I really put the energy into being a mom and put that first in life, and it was awesome. It was a very happy period of time. And then from age 40 to 50, I started asking going deeper, not just looking at the superficial thing, how things work, but really going deeper and asking better questions. I love a quote by Laura Fernandez, who's someone that I follow online, and she said that, she may not even said it, but she quoted that the quality of your life depends on the questions that you ask. Well, I started asking deeper questions, and I started to realize that I'd made some assumptions about what God's will is, really that were not founded in truth. And it really wasn't until I got hit by a 2x4 and actually legally and physically removed from my home when it really became clear to me that it was not God's will for me to be in an unloving, beyond inappropriate, and many times toxic environment as a daughter of Christ. You know, that's not God's will for me. And what's ironic is that by kind of learning that, I started to return back to the totally free to be me phase of, you know, especially in my business, because part of in business you realize you can't be someone you're not. You just have to be you, and people are going to want to be you or not based on who you are, and it's really a freedom. And the other thing I learned kind of as a part of that deeper question period is that I am a master manifester. That's a title my coach gave me. I'd been actively manifesting some things in my life that actually fell into place almost perfectly. And one of the things she said to me was, you are a master manifester, and you need to write down every single thing you did and apply that in other areas of your life, and also share it with your clients. So it was just a year of being willing to get answers to things that I was in the past afraid to hear those answers because of what might happen. But just to work through that fear and trust that God is and will take great care of me now and forever. So I would love to hear your insights if you go back and think through your life lessons by decade. What was interesting when I did this with my girlfriends is that what we learned was very, very different. So I would love to have you share